Hello, welcome back to Clutter Fairy, where I help you get clutter-free so that you can live stress-free. I am already very anxious about today's video, partly because it means I need to be very transparent and share some things that I've experienced, and then partly because this is such an important thing to me that I want to make sure the advice I'm giving really resonates and helps those of you who need it. So, the first thing I want to say is these are not tips on what to do. You know how to vacuum. You know how to clean your dishes or your bathroom. Chronic pain is not about learning how to do a task. It's learning to work around the pain. And those are the things that I'm going to be addressing today. First things first. This is not in your head. You are not lazy, and you are not choosing to not do the daily tasks that need to get done. I want you to repeat that to yourself because I think we're really harsh on ourselves, and you need to be able to understand and forgive yourself for doing the very best you can, even if that means on some days all you do is wake up and eat. Again, I know how hard this is, and I'm just going to go ahead and share some of my story really quick. I'm going to put a little link right here if you want to skip through this part and just start going to the tips, but I have suffered with depression my pretty much entire adult life. I had some things happen, childhood trauma. I'm not going to bore you with all the specifics, but suffice to say, I went into adulthood with a lot of baggage. And, so many of the things that I've learned about in research says that much stress and depression manifests itself in physical ways. So right out of high school, I started developing migraines that were pretty debilitating. And I started getting ovarian cysts and fibroid tumors. So I had multiple surgeries, which ironically led to more depression. So, fast forward to the early 2000s, I just had my second child, and what a huge blessing that was. But shortly after my youngest was born, the migraines went crazy. They were multiple days a week, sometimes lasting the full week. I would have such ridiculous sensitivity to hearing that just a light being on, if it was a filament bulb or a incandescent over-the-head fluorescent, I could hear the filament vibrating, and it was painful. And I felt like such a failure for not being able to just push through it. I had the responsibility of my kids to take care of, my family, my household. These migraines kept getting worse, and the medication they were giving me kept getting higher and higher, which would cause rebound headaches. The ringing in my ears was non-stop. There were nights when I would lay in bed and just honestly pray to die because it was like a firecracker had gone off next to my ear, and the ringing was so loud I couldn't hear normal things. Sometimes I would lay there going, okay, is that my baby crying, or is it the ringing in my ears? And it was exhausting, and that extreme exhaustion elevated my depression. And long story short, I went through this for 6 years. And I kept going to the doctor, and they kept treating the migraines, the lack of sleep, the elevated stress levels. And most of the time, they just looked at me like I was making this up, like I just didn't feel like dealing with life. So I was coming up with these crazy theories, because when they would run MRIs, or they would run the CAT scans, or they would run all of these other neurological tests, nothing was coming back pointing at XYZ. And I finally went to a homeopathic doctor, and he was doing acupuncture to try and relieve my stress in the hopes of allowing me to sleep, which was hopefully going to allow these migraines to dissipate. And I didn't have the money for it. By then, sadly, my marriage had ended. I wasn't able to work, so that was a huge expense to go through. And while I was with this homeopathic doctor, he said, hey, your reproductive organs are completely out of whack, and you need to go see a gynecologist. And I thought, oh my gosh, I just wasted money I didn't have to see this quack. Well, he was right. I didn't go to a gynecologist right away. It took me about 9 months. And one day I felt a really weird lump on my left side. And when I went to the gynecologist, we found out that I had a 9-inch fibroid tumor that had grown through my uterine wall and started attaching itself to other organs. And the reason no doctor ever caught this was because the side effects from this tumor growing and affecting these other organs was crazy hormones, which its side effect was these migraines and these ear sensitivities and feeling tired all the time, and my hormone levels just being crazy. So in early 2012, I finally got to have this tumor and all of my reproductive organs taken out. And within 2 days, I felt me again. I got to feel normal, and it was such a ridiculous, extreme relief. I felt like I had been given my life back. And I remember going in for my 2-week post-op checkup with my doctor. And you guys, after being in such immense, constant, nonstop pain for, at this point, it was 7 years, I walked in and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you look great. You probably are clear to go." And I'm going, "Yes. Can I start exercising? Can I start walking? Can I start running again?" She's going, "Absolutely." And she flips the chart and goes, No, it's only been 2 weeks. You have a long ways to go. But visually, I had come alive again. I had been given a whole new lease on life. But as I was going through and writing this, and I was trying to remember my really dark days, the days that I genuinely wanted to die from the pain, the days that I had to push so hard just to be there for my kids, the days that, getting up and taking a shower, just a shower, would take me 2 or 3 days just to get it together to do. So when I'm talking about some of these tips, I'm speaking from living it. These are not research tips that I got online. These are not books that I read to give you suggestions in the hopes that they help. These were things that helped me, and I sincerely hope that they help you. If I could go back in time and talk to myself when I was at my deepest, darkest time, my most consistent pain, I would have told myself to push, not to do the things that I thought needed to be done. Frankly, forgive my language, but who gives a crap about laundry? You need it, but you know what? Most of us have enough clothes that we can get through a week or two, and if you have to wear something twice, really, it is not the end of the world. The things you need to push yourself on are the things that are going to make you feel human, and that's, I think, one of the first things you lose when you are in chronic pain or in a state of depression. So, always get up, get out of bed. It's easy to wake up and feel like you can't tackle the day and just go back to sleep, but get up if you can. Do your best to just get up and go take a quick shower. Taking a shower does a couple of things. Number one, it gets you moving. And sometimes just moving, knowing that you're doing something for yourself, and that's truly the purpose of taking the shower, is you are worth so much more than that shell of pain that's completely overtaking your life. So remind yourself that you are worth taking care of yourself. So get out of bed, take a shower, take a bath. Once you've gotten out of the shower and you've dried yourself off, rest for a few minutes. You do not need to worry about anything else except, I did it. I think that's the other thing that we don't do, is we need to look at every little step that we have pushed ourselves through. You need to give yourself a pat on the back, because no one else understands how difficult some of these most mundane tasks are, but you know how difficult it is, and you need to acknowledge, I did it. I got up, I have taken a shower, and now I'm going to rest so that I can assess what my next opportunity is for the day. This is the tip that I think will actually benefit you the most for being productive. Get yourself a cute notebook, a notepad, something that brings you some happiness when you look at it. It doesn't have to be expensive, you guys, but start making a couple of different lists. I want a list of easy things that you could do, and these are 10 or 15 minute tasks. And then on a separate list, start listing out the things that are definitely going to be a little bit more challenging. Maybe it's a little bit more physical. Maybe you need to clean the shower or bathtub, or you haven't gone through your mail in a while, so there's about a month's worth. So that would go into the second list. That third list are the things that, they're going to be a longer project, maybe a full day or more. The reason I want 3 lists is because I want these color-coded. So that first list of quick, easy, under 15-minute projects are going to be green. And I just want you to color it in some way or even write it on a green pad of paper so that those are your go-to items. Those are the easy, quick, when you're feeling good, I can tackle one of these. The one that's a little bit harder, those are your yellow items. And I want it yellow for a reason, because I want you to look at it and go, okay, how am I feeling today? Can I do these more challenging tasks? And that third one, that's definitely not a quick assignment. Those are pink. I don't want them red, because red gives you the idea to stop. I want you to try and tackle these on a day when you're feeling good, but I want them to be pink so that it's an inviting color and it still gives you that hope that you'll be able to get it done. If you're looking for a green item and none of them are meeting your needs or something that matches what you can physically do that day, even going through that list and identifying maybe something to add counts as something that you've accomplished. But the important thing for doing this, taking that 15 minutes a day and either tackling something on one of those lists or a part of one of those lists, is this is giving you an achievement. It's giving you a win. It's giving you something so that at the end of the day, you can say to yourself, I did this. Not only did I get up and I attempted to tackle the day, I got up, I took a shower, I did something rewarding and fulfilling for myself, and I got through a task on my list. And again, just adding something to those task lists is a gain. It's a step forward. And I think those steps moving forward are truly crucial. And when you've had a day where you've accomplished something, you guys, I am discovering that this community, if you haven't had a chance, read through some of the comments. I am in awe of you guys and the support that you give to one another. And I have not seen a single shaming comment or chastising comment. You are all trying to give support and advice to one another. I can't believe the wealth of information that's just right here amongst your fellow subscribers. I had a subscriber, she had left a comment on my page, and she had just said, basically that she was struggling with these things and was asking how to get through it. What happened before I had a chance to comment back to her? This is what brought me to tears. So she had made this little comment about what can I do? And then you guys, you started commenting on it's okay, you can get through this, try this, look up this resource, we're here for you. Please don't be afraid to ask for help. Here's what I did, here's what you can try. The support that this complete stranger got moved me so much, and this is what I'm really hoping that you take from this video, is that there are so many networks of support out there. Please don't be afraid to go get them. Please don't be afraid to share your story. I never realized that sharing my story would help people until I started doing this as a profession. And it has become one of the most rewarding things in my life, is meeting someone for the first time and completely being able to empathize with the situation they're in and the inner struggles that they have, and how cyclical pain is with depression, and depression leads to more pain, and pain leads to more depression, and it feels like a tornado that you will never be able to get out of. But I'm here to say that you can get out of it. It's not easy. It is not. And hopefully you have a good support network within your family that can help. But if not, reach out to these outside communities because they're phenomenal. And the other side of all of this is truly amazing. If you can understand your limitations and sometimes acknowledge that today's not going to be the day that I can get something done, but know that you are going to have some good days, and try and just, okay, today's not good, but I know I'm going to have a good day in a couple of days, and on that day I am going to tackle whatever it is. Having that sense of purpose, though, is one of the things that can get us through those really dark days. So as you are tackling one of these tasks, a very important thing, and the clients that I have gotten to work with who have chronic illnesses, you need to pace yourself. If you're feeling great, you cannot dive into a project and just go, I'm going to get this whole bookcase organized today. It's really important for you to set that timer and only spend 5 or 10 minutes and then rest. Make sure you are hydrating yourself. Make sure you're having a little snack around to take care of you. And then after another 5 or 10 minute break, you can proceed and tackle another 5 or 10 minutes. But this method of working, resting is going to actually allow you to be the most productive. Because what happens is I'll see somebody push through because they're feeling great for a day, and they'll work for an hour, and then all of a sudden, without any warning, they hit a wall. And it's a hard wall. And now you get knocked out for a day or two just recovering because you pushed yourself. So please pace yourself. Set that timer, an old egg timer. Set the timer on your phone. If you have Alexa, just say, Alexa, set the timer for 10 minutes. And then take a rest. Acknowledge the progress that you've made because that is so exciting. What you just accomplished is so exciting. And then you can assess how you're feeling to decide how much more you want to do. Be patient with yourself. And if you are working with someone and it feels like they're getting frustrated with you, I want you to switch your perspective a little bit because this is something I have found not only when I was going through this, but now that I'm on the other side and I'm helping people. Most of the time, people aren't frustrated with you and the limitations you have. They're frustrated because they want to help you and they don't know how. That's so frustrating when you are in a position to really want to help someone and you don't know what they need. You don't know how you can help them. So if you are with someone and they're getting frustrated, ask them, are you frustrated with me? Or am I not communicating what I need? Which leads me to my last tip. I never asked for help, and I wish I had, and I cannot encourage you enough to ask for help. People would call me or stop by and say they were going to the grocery store and ask if they could get me anything, or ask if they could take the kids for a couple of hours, or ask if they could cook, or just give a blanket. Whatever you need, please don't hesitate to ask me. And I never did. I was so proud and so embarrassed to ask for the help because I would be acknowledging that I couldn't do things. If someone is asking you if they can help, say yes. Say yes, 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 yes. Take that assistance. Someone is offering you to help because they care about you. And allowing someone to help you actually is making them feel like they have a purpose. It makes them feel good about helping. And it's helping you to take something off your list that's probably weighing you down. I found a girl who talks about struggling with ADHD, and I think it's called How to ADHD, and her link is right here. I'll also put her link in the description below. But she has just done a series on the wall of awful, and she's worked with another gentleman to get ideas of how it is that we kind of start to put up these walls of, I failed once, so that's a brick, and this was too difficult, and I'm afraid of this, and this gives me anxiety, and all of these feelings that we get put up a ridiculous wall that prevents us from trying to do things. It's a great series. Please check it out. The other one is this book on organizing for the creative life by Gwyneth Irwin. And a couple of the things that I really like about it is it talks about what soothes you and what enlivens you. And these are not negative things. These are things that help you to recognize when you're in a heightened sense of pain or depression. If you already know some of the things that will bring you out of that depression or kind of release some of that pain, it is ridiculously helpful. So this book goes through the different auditory and visual and, the different sensory things that can help you one way or the other. But my favorite one, under her project management, she talks about a way of tracking multiple projects. And I have heard from so many of you that you're like me and that you'll start this project and this project and this project and this project because you have this full creative mind and you go in a couple of different directions and then all of a sudden you go, uh-oh, I have too many projects going on. So check out this book. I'll put the link below where you can purchase it and check it out online. But it really helps you to lay out these projects that you want to do in a very visual, understandable way so that you can keep track of them. But also it allows you to become even more creative, which who doesn't want that? Anyway, I feel better getting through this. This was a really tough one for me. I sincerely hope that something I said resonated with you, or that it gives you the strength to reach out into the community and find a place where you can click with someone who can help you through this daily cycle that you're in. But it does get better. It really, really does. So I can't thank you enough for watching this. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. I will always answer. If I can't answer right away, I get to them as soon as I can. Sometimes you have asked me questions and I don't have an answer for. I try and research them for you, or I try and link you to another YouTuber who has that information, because it just makes me feel so good to get to help you guys. So with that, I love you and I will see you next week. I did want to announce the winner of the tote bag. So this winner is Christine's Cards and Things. So Christine, congratulations. If you're watching this, if you can, email me your address and I will get this lovely, cute little tote right out to you. Also, I never heard back from Juana. So Juana, if you're out there, please email me your address so that I can send you the mug. Otherwise, I am going to go ahead and pull the new winner on Saturday for the mug.